Of course, it needs a day-on-day inspiration also, or some level of motivation to, get another day and face another maybe stress, calamity, emergency. What keeps you going in your profession?
The biggest motivation is when your treated patient is all fit and healthy and they come back smiling to you. They want to take a picture with you, or they want to give you a handwritten note, or they want to give you a small token of appreciation. So those are the moments. So for me, if you'll ask me, yes, 15 out of 30 days in a month, somebody or the other patient, either will be requesting for a picture, giving me a handwritten note, or giving me a small moment, or honoring them in their own cultural ways. So I think that is what it takes away rest of the pain.
Wow. So on some of the transformative cases that you've seen have like totally कि आपने खुद ही नहीं सोचा था कि इसके इतने beautiful results होंगे, and that kind of made you feel the power of your own.
Patient coming on wheelchair today, all yellow, thin, weak, barely able to stand, and 3 months after the transplant, he drives, he comes to the hospital.
Oh wow.
At least 10-12 of my patients who had undergone transplant at various point in time, 6 months back, 1 year back, 2 years back, they had come. So yes, I recognize almost all of them. So I saw all of them, spoke to them, asked their health, saw their reports. So but that is the truth also about liver transplant. So if you talk about such cases, there are so many. People have come to you on ventilators, on dialysis. They have been airlifted from various parts of the country, from across the country also. And today, as a gesture, whenever I am traveling to their city, they are the ones driving and picking me from the airport, dropping me to the airport, when they were flown on an air ambulance on a ventilator some years back to me.
Now they are.
So yes, it's really beautiful to see them.
Welcome back. At Unbound, हमारी पूरी कोशिश होती है कि कुछ ऐसे पर्सनालिटीज़, प्रोफाइल्स और प्रोफेशनल्स को हम लेकर आएं जिनके बारे में या जिनकी साइड ऑफ द स्टोरी आपने नहीं सुनी है. ऐसे ही एक शख्स, एक बहुत ही नामचीन प्रोफेशन से एक स्पेशलिस्ट आज हमारे साथ हैं. उनके प्रोफेशन को दर्जा तो एक्चुअली भगवान का दिया गया है, एंड ही हिमसेल्फ is a manifestation of that form personified as Dr. Ankur Garg. Welcome to the show.
थैंक यू ममता. इतना भी बड़ा नहीं है और मैं अपने आप को एक नॉर्मल इंसान ही समझता हूँ.
बट जो काम आप कर रहे हैं दैट इज़ नॉट सो नॉर्मल. लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट एक बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स सर्जरी, एक बहुत ही कॉम्प्लेक्स फील्ड है. हाउ डिड यू स्टार्ट योर जर्नी इनटू दिस?
Well, liver transplant came later in the journey. If we talk about how did I choose to be a doctor? So to be very honest, I don't know whether in school time or in college time I was so focused that I want to be a doctor. But yes, one person in my life who was focused that I need to be a doctor was my father. So, when the entrance exam results came, I got into engineering college, took the admission. And few days down the line, all India NEET result came and I got into medical college. And he pulled me out from there. Let's go to medical college. At that point in time, at 18 years of age, not that I had any option to say anything in front of him. And I quietly went to start my medical journey and I started with MBBS. Yes, once into MBBS, 5 years into college, 1 year of internship. Yes, that is when the further drive happens. So at least during my MBBS time, I was very clear that the branch that I will like to do is definitely a surgical branch. And from there, I began my post-graduation into surgery. And during surgery days, we almost operated on all the body parts, right from top to bottom, barring liver. Liver used to be one organ which no person in the department used to touch. So from there, I was very fascinated that come whatever may, I will do surgeries related to liver, and I never thought that, it will eventually translate into liver transplant. And that's where I've ended up myself.
Wow, fabulous. आपकी जर्नी तो मतलब मिस एडवेंचर से सुपर एडवेंचर में कन्वर्ट हो गई. बट टू younger specialists who are now looking to make a dent in this particular field and profession, how have things really evolved in past 15 or 18 years of your journey? How are you seeing the Indian scenario as far as liver transplant is concerned?
See, if we talk about 15 years back or 20 years back when I went into training for liver transplant, there were not much choices in India. There were just 1, 2, 3 centers, just 2, 3, 4 trained senior people in the field. And the only choice of getting trained into liver transplant was to work with them. or maybe go abroad. But if we talk about the journey in last 15, 20 years, now there are many centers. Delhi NCR is mushrooming with almost 15 to 20 liver transplant centers now. So for the young people, there are enough opportunities to go at these centers to learn. Now there are certified MCH courses, which I happen to be a first batch from ILBS for MCH liver transplant and
You
hepatobiliary
were the
surgery.
first batch?
Yes, I was the first batch.
Wow. That India saw.
Yeah.
Wow.
So both in terms of opportunities once you choose your career in liver transplant, and in terms of opportunities for training and seeing more wider horizon and perspectives of work. So now things are much more simpler and easier, and it feels good to see, me as a part of this journey, this liver transplant core, that okay, now people have acceptance, now there are centers, now more and more people are accepting it. Yes, it feels happy that
Yeah.
okay, along with me, the journey, the other things are also
Also evolving. एक मतलब ये तो एक बात है कि आप लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट सुपर स्पेशलिस्ट हैं, बट एक डॉक्टर की लाइफ अपने आप में अपने ही सेट ऑफ चैलेंजेस से भरी है, एंड प्रोबेबली दैट्स वाई वेयर उसका दर्जा थोड़ा सा ह्यूमन से ऊपर भी माना जाता है. What is your personal take when we consider and we see doctors in that light as that divine force, as that healing hands, और उस चीज़ का क्या कोई इमोशनल बर्डन भी है आप पे एज अ डॉक्टर, एज अ स्पेशलिस्ट?
So see, as a doctor, that side of the story, not many people see, not many people talk about, but the ones who are into it, they live it. It is their harsh reality. So at the end of the day, doctor is also a human being, and especially in a specialty like me, where we tend to deal patients for a long time, and most of the times, I'll say, 70, 80% of the times, we tend to know their families also, because, we are talking them, we are dealing with them day to day. So, being a human being, at some point in time, you will form some fine part of, emotional bonding with that family also. And in those scenarios, where the untoward event happens or the unfortunate thing happens, in medical science, nobody can say that 100% of my patients are going to live. And yeah, I'm don't have any problem accepting that. And especially in a field like liver transplant, where we see significant amount of morbidity and mortality as compared to other fields.
To what extent is it there?
To the tune of 5 to 10%. So that is significant. If we compare it with other specialities, it is very high. So dealing there with families, sometimes breaking the news, sometimes counseling them, sometimes, taking their emotional outbursts also as well. So not only those hours at the work life which are affected, sometimes you also carry that emotion, that heaviness back home. Yes, for some people, it's very easy. They can say that, is it a guilt? Is it a guilt? No, it's not a direct guilt. It is something that not that wrong has been done, but it is something that has come out of your action. That action may be for the best of things. So it's a perspective that we need to understand. And then there are days when you carry that emotional burden home, it disrupts your family life, it disrupts your social life. Somebody may choose to speak about it or not, but yes, at the back of the mind, that is a truth for every true doctor who is working out there in the field trying to save patients' life. At some point, and maybe not some point, at every point, repeated points, he or she will undergo these emotions.
How do you exercise detachment? Where does that point come जहाँ पे आप as a doctor, as a specialist, as an HOD, you draw a line and say, जो मैं कर सकता था मैंने कर दिया? Is there a line which comes कि ये मेरा best था और मैं ये कर चुका हूँ?
See, eventually, if as a professional, I have to give my best to a patient as a professional, I will have to draw that line of detachment. Else, my emotions will take over. And just being a doctor and having that power to exercise any kind of treatment or knowing so many other things, which a common man will not. Yes, if I will work emotionally, I'll try to do everything. Saving a patient if patient has become serious or he's crashing or she's crashing. But yes, that is where you have to draw the line of detachment also, being a professional, being that authenticity that, okay, I know that, the point of no return has come. And not only drawing that line of detachment, sometimes you have to explain the same thing to the family also. That, see, I am telling you that the point of no return has come. So a lot of times, it's a request that comes from the family No, doctor, you can try this. Please try
Hmm.
this also. We want to do this also.
Hmm.
And there are times that we have to tell them that, no, you don't have to do this. Please don't do this. As much as sometimes I have to tell them that, had I been the caregiver or had this patient been my family member, and I was the one who had to take a call, I will not take a call to, extend further from here. So, yes, ultimately, practically, if you have to run the profession, that line of detachment has to be there. Otherwise, we won't be able to carry
Okay, coming to your personal journey, I think that became a little too heavy for us to take, and we have to really, crack the momentum of the show. Coming to your personal journey, obviously, आपको नहीं पता था कि आप इस प्रोफेशन में लैंड करने वाले हैं. तो जब आप बन गए, जब आप पहली बार लिवर ट्रांसप्लांट सर्जन बन गए, how was the feel? How was the vibe? I mean, how real was it for you? And when did the actual जो उसका force या उसकी gravity है, it kind of dawned on you?
So, liver transplant surgeon तो बन गए. फिर क्या? Life goes on. You have to earn your livelihood. You have to take care of your family. Liver transplant degree भी मिल गई. Came out. Who are you out? You are the junior most person in the team. Nobody knows you. And the slogging continues from 8 in the morning till 12 in the night, and then 8 in the morning and 12 in the night. Now wife also at home and kid also at home, and Papa is a doctor? Which doctor? I don't know what does he do. And for me personally, how was it for my parents? We don't understand what is he doing.
Yeah.
He does not know anything about orthopedics because that's the problem they are having at old age. He does not knows anything about heart because that's the problem they are having at their age. He does not knows anything about diabetes. Whatever, family talks to me, okay, I'll tell them the medicines, common ailment medicines. But any issue related to bones or heart or brain, no, I don't know. And they say our son is a super specialist. I don't know what kind of super specialist he is. So, it was a journey not only for me,
Yeah.
but even for my family to see me grow in this profession, in this career, to become more and more skillful. And probably at one point in time, that turnover happened that they started accepting, no, okay, he is some doctor.
तो ये यूरेका मोमेंट क्या था, यही हम जानना चाहेंगे. वॉज देयर अ मोमेंट कि भाई आज न्यूज़पेपर में ऐड आ गई है या आज हमारा बेटा इस इंटरव्यू में है, तो हमें लगा कि ओके
No,
ही
no.
इज मेड
So see, newspaper ads and articles, it's okay. Sometimes they're hospital driven, sometimes they're industry driven. So probably that was not important for them. I think if you ask me as an individual, for me it was when they recognize, when my loved ones recognize. So probably that was that when my other relatives, they used to try to reach out to me. Not and I could not answer their calls because either I was in OT or I was working late hours. And then they started approaching them to connect to me.
Oh, that's when the weight. Okay.
They started connecting to my brother. They started connecting to my wife. They started connecting to my parents. That हमारी बात करा दो, हमारी रिपोर्ट शेयर कर दो, हम कब फोन कर सकते हैं. तो probably not for me. This eureka moment happened for them at that point in time.
So since it happened for them, of course it happened for you too. But in a doctor's life, I mean, interestingly, because itna hustle or hassle all the time, managing time, because obviously emergencies will not see a clock, and as per clockwork तो काम करेंगी नहीं. तो मतलब वाइफ्स का तो शायद या पेरेंट्स का भी, लव्ड वंस का एक रिकॉर्ड चलता ही रहता है, तुम्हारे पास टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है, टाइम नहीं है. हाउ डू यू जस्टिफाई योरसेल्फ एज अ डॉक्टर बैक होम? डू यू हैव टू डू सम जस्टिफिकेशन समटाइम्स? Important family events, vacations.
Yes. See, because that is a personal part of life.
Yeah.
And see, personal life will always be personal life for anybody, whosoever in that profession or any other profession maybe. How do I justify my consciousness that yes, okay, this was needed of me? Whether somebody back at home understands this or not, I will try my best. I will try to make up also. Because this part of profession I understand. If I have chosen to be a doctor and I have given so many years into it, for me it's not going back. For me it's not about earning livelihood anymore. For me it is the
saving life.
It's saving life. It is about the that responsibility that I have to carry. howsoever the world may perceive it, howsoever the family may perceive it, it's okay. Because being ultimately at the end of the day as a human, I also understand those perspectives. But for me, what is important is that, okay, it is my responsibility. If patient is under me, he may require me at 12 o'clock in the night also. His issue may be very trivial from my perspective, but from his perspective, his issue may be very big.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
constant, battle of choices is what the game is all about.
I think that is what life is all about.
So, quickly coming to koi aisi regrettable moments hai which you're like, oh shit, I missed this because, because of my profession.
शायद कभी कभी लगता है पापा इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज से नहीं निकालते तो वहाँ लाइफ अच्छी थी.
Grass is always green. We'll definitely have an engineer also come on this show very soon then. Coming back to the fact कि हमें प्रॉब्लम होती है, we rush to doctors. डॉक्टर को प्रॉब्लम होती है, वो कहाँ जाता है? Don't tell me another doctor.
See, it's not that doctor will not go to another doctor. Of course, they will go to. It's not that I don't have a medical history or I have not undergone treatments and surgeries. Of course, then I'll have to go to another doctor. But yes, for I think majority of the doctors, lot of it they are able to identify themselves when something happens to them as far as health is concerned. For a lot of doctors, there will be a neglect also. They will tend to neglect because उनके लिए लगता है हाँ ये छोटा सा यही तो है. I'll take this tablet because उतना fix तो सबको आता है. Be it a cardiologist or a physician or a surgeon. But yes, ultimately, if it is about, yes, a doctor will go to another doctor only.
Another doctor only. But I meant more from the emotional point of view. So if you are stressed, distressed, how do you take care of this emotional, burden that you obviously have as a unsaid part to your profession? Or maybe this is kind of a hazard which is always underlying.
See, to some extent, it's definitely a hazard. There is no doubt about it. And of course, at the end of the day, this emotional burden will be shared with whom? It will be shared with your loved ones. It will be shared with your family and friends only. So they are the ones who will eventually carry along with you. Of course, I will be the one who will be the carrying it maximum, but the brunt will be borne by them as well.
तो क्या आप आना चाहेंगे अनबाउंड विद ममता पे अनबाउंडिंग के लिए मेरे साथ? कोई स्टोरी, कोई आइडिया, कोई थॉट है आपके पास जो आप चाहते हैं कि दुनिया सुने, तो मुझे लिखिए unboundwithmamta@gmail.com. That is unboundwithmamtaa@gmail.com. या सिंपली हमारे किसी भी इंस्टाग्राम पोस्ट को या यूट्यूब के एपिसोड को लाइक, शेयर या अपने कमेंट्स भेजिए. What is one thing that you really, and I'm sure there's so many of them, but one thing that you personally take a lot of pride in being in the profession that you are, other than of course you're saving lives, you're transforming lives, but something which is very, very deeply personally meaningful for you?
See, for me, empathy and understanding that problem, not only as a doctor for a patient, but also from their family's perspective, from their relatives' perspective, when they come to me. So nobody walks into the hospital happy.
Of course.
They already are stressed that somebody is ill. Majority of the times, there's a financial burden also that they walk in with, that this was uncalculated or uncalled for expense. So they're always irritable. They're always on short-tempered. Even the slightest of thing, if will go wrong, they will go outside. And that is, what we see every day in media, be it print media or be it social media, bad story about this treatment or this hospital. So see, but we also have to understand that why it happens so. Because I have never seen that, if 90 out of 100 patients are going very well and smooth out of the hospital, are they really going out and shouting out to the media that this is the best hospital, this is the best doctor? No, they are not going. 1 out of 10 is going bad, they are going, making a hue and cry. So to understand that part, for me, what pride is, I feel that, okay, I have always been on that side where I have been able to understand this part of human behavior very well. And I'll say at least on 99% of the occasions, I have been really able to understand family, relatives, patient. They have been able to understand me. I have stood with them in thick and thin. And so many times it has happened that even in the case of unfortunate and somebody losing life, they have called me for the last rites that no, we want you to be there and we will feel good about it. And I take that, if somebody can really understand, I take that pride in
That's
myself.
huge.
That,
Yeah.
okay,
Mm.
they understand me, at least, and I really feel honored there.
Wow. That's really deeply moving. And there is that side to it. We had no idea about it. But truly, I mean, of course, it needs a day on day inspiration also, or some level of motivation to yet another day and face another maybe stress, calamity, emergency. What keeps you going in your profession?
I think for any doctor per se, and for me, at least, of course, I can speak, but I feel for most of us also as doctor community, the biggest motivation is when your treated patient is all fit and healthy and they come back smiling to you. They want to take a picture with you, or they want to give you a handwritten note, or they want to give you a small token of appreciation. So those are the moments. So for me, if you'll ask me, yes, 15 out of 30 days in a month,
Yeah.
somebody or the other patient, either will be requesting for a picture, giving me a handwritten note, or giving me a small memento, or, honoring them in their own cultural ways. So I think that is what it takes away rest of the pain.
Wow. So on some of the transformative cases that you've seen have like totally कि आपने खुद ही नहीं सोचा था कि इसके इतने beautiful results होंगे, and that kind of made you feel the power of your own treatment.
So for me, in liver transplant, I always say that it's not a life-saving surgery. It's a life-transforming surgery.
Yeah.
That's where you see the beauty of it. Patient coming on wheelchair today, all yellow, thin, weak, barely able to stand. And 3 months after the transplant, he drives, he comes to the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And for patients, so just 3 weeks back, I was out of India conducting one of my clinics. So at least 10, 12 of my patients who had undergone transplant at various point in time, 6 months back, 1 year back, 2 years back, they had come. So yes, I recognize almost all of them. So I saw all of them, spoke to them, asked their health, saw their reports. And then there was this one very pretty girl sitting, must be around 35. She said, "Doctor, you didn't recognize me." I said, "No." Then she told me her name. And then she showed me her discharge summary and reports. So she underwent a transplant some 2 years back.
Wow.
So, I really felt embarrassed, to be very honest. And then, what I told her, and what was truth for me also,
Yeah.
that, you all people, you become so beautiful, bright, young, and smart after liver transplant that when I see you straight away after 2 years, I am not able to recognize you. Had you been on my regular follow-up, yes, I would have recognized you, but I'm seeing you after 2 years.
Awesome.
So, but that is the truth also about
Yeah.
liver transplant. So, if you talk about such cases, there are so many. People have come to you on ventilators, on dialysis. They have been airlifted from various parts of the country, from across the country also. And today, as a gesture, whenever I'm traveling to their city, they are the ones driving and picking me from the airport, dropping me to the airport. When they were flown on an air ambulance on a ventilator some years back to me.
Now they are.
So yes, it's really beautiful to see them.
Wow.
And then one of my patients whom nobody had hoped she'll survive. She was just 22, 23 at that age. Today she is 34 and she's a proud mother of 2 children, and her elder son is almost as much as my elder son today,
Wow.
9, 10 years old.
Wow.
And she has no problem. But she will make sure that she gives a visit to me at least twice a year with her children. And, it feels so happy and proud to see that.
Wow. I think those are the moments that
Those are the
we
moments.
live for, right?
Yeah.
So I think you've really rounded it up very beautifully for us. I mean, starting from being an invincible doctor to a very convincing doctor now. But this is like towards the fag end of the show because of the paucity of time and your, OPDs and your surgeries lined up. But let's just do a quick rapid reflex round. This is towards the fag end of the show that we pull in our guests to give us answers in not more than a second or not more than a sentence. So, volley of questions, very quick questions. You won't get much time to think for sure. Life to you is if you were to just complete this sentence in one word or one sentence.
Life to me is for living, so live it.
All right. Never have you ever.
Never have I ever. I wish I could have tried everything in life. So,
But never have you ever. There's so many things.
never have you ever? Well, I have not been very adventurous. I have not much dared a lot of things, and I still have to do a lot of adventure in my
My
life.
God, you are doing adventure every day with that scalpel in your hand. But what is that completes you? Like truly the meaning of your life? One thing that kind of sums it up or completes it for you?
Well, difficult to say.
Mm.
so, it has got nothing to do with me as a doctor. I think for any individual, what really sums up life is I personally feel for myself that at the end of the day, if I'm able to answer my consciousness,
Hmm.
that the day was all good and clear, I could do best what I could do. I didn't run away from any of my responsibilities or duties, be it towards my family or be it towards my patients.
Profession. Hmm.
I am able to sleep well. I say that to be a day. And to be very honest, I live that life by the day. And it's a practice for last 20 years that before sleeping, that one question will always come to me. Did I do everything? Did I do injustice to anybody?
All right. So your quest for doing justice to life is kind of the summary of it all, if I were to take it. All right. Food to you is.
Food to me is passion. It's happiness, and not in terms of eating food, but in cooking food for my loved
Oh,
ones.
wow. Your favorite food then in that case.
So my favorite food is what my children love. So that is aglio olio and pesto pasta. So the joy that I get in preparing that food for them and having a heartful meal and then asking for, is it left for the next day? That is what, sums up my life. And if given a choice and an
Yeah.
opportunity, probably that is what I like to pursue next in my life.
Oh, wow. We have a doctor coming with culinary skills here. Interesting. So with on the next time we take you on the podcast will be for the other reasons,
Sure.
right?
I'm waiting for that time.
Great. Books, OTT, or real people. What inspires you the most, and what are your current reads and watches in that order?
Uh, so there is nothing, as far as current watch is concerned that will inspire me because I am a very science fictional and a thrillers watching guys on
Okay.
OTT.
Okay.
Books, yes, books, they do inspire me. And there have been many books. If you ask me that, I do read comics also, I do read novels also, fiction
Okay.
and non-fiction. But yes, there are some mind-boggling books.
One person whose life has sort of inspired or motivated you the most, or who has been a motivation for you, you have looked up to that person in a great deal. Living or dead, fictional or non-fiction. I mean, it could be.
So, as an individual, if you'll ask me,
Hmm.
as a family person, I'll ask me one person who has inspired me most
Hmm.
is my brother, my elder
Hmm.
brother. He has always been on the sincere side, taking responsibility side, and he has supported me with a lot of backdoor channel pocket monies during my college days, which I used to splurge.
Yeah.
And so I always, at least, in those years, where that inspiration carries a lot of meaning as
Hmm.
compared to now in life. Maybe now nobody carries that.
Hmm.
But yes, he was that role model for me that, I have to take those charges and responsibilities that he
Hmm.
has taken in his life.
Hmm.
And I so much wish to look towards him that I also want to become so mature and taking those responsibilities of
Yeah, we
family.
haven't
So,
seen that side of you, so we would say that the job is well done. You've emulated him pretty well, and something that kind of really makes you unbound. There are either spaces or events, places जहाँ पे हम जाके ना सब कुछ भूल जाते हैं. हम टोटल एक अनबाउंड वाली फीलिंग को किसी का हर एक का अपना
yeah.
मैकेनिज्म होता है, राइट, दैट यू वॉक इन टू दैट प्लेस. And when you walk out, you're not the same person. Do you have any such processes for you, or places or things that you have designed in a day to completely let you unbound?
See, in a day, I wish I could have designed those things, but
Hmm.
what really unbounds me is definitely going to a very quiet, serene waterside. And
Okay.
whenever, be it a family travel or for me, the first choice will always be to choose destinations like this.
Hmm.
And I can lay there for, days together and not doing nothing.
Okay. And one quote of wisdom, motivation, or something that you keep going back to as a quote in your head?
See, whatever you wish to do in life, whichever work, whichever profession, be it job or be it your entrepreneurship, have conviction in it, have faith in it, and don't keep judging yourself every day that, where am I standing in this ladder in the society. We are here not for comparing with anybody. We all have our own journeys, and I feel that God has all made up of us, and we are all unique in. So don't justify yourself comparing with others. Whatever you're doing, if you believe in it, then if there's conviction in it, just go about it.
Right.
And times will turn and the beauty will come. It's my personal journey also. Not that it was always so much rewarding, or not that it was always so much felt accomplishing or achievable to me. But yes, as it is going, because I had conviction and I loved what I do, I had full faith in it. And I see the beauty of it.
Wow, beautiful. So, one wrap-up note, especially for young aspiring doctors, specialists, people who are wanting to make it in any kind of transplant specialization, anything that you would want to say to the world, to the aspirants out there?
Young ones aspiring to be a doctor. Yes, there is a very big passion in this profession. But along with this passion, there's a lot of hard work. There's a lot of endurance also, which is demanded out of you. And in those years where maybe you are not mentally prepared at times. So you should be aware of it. So just don't, want to be a doctor because it's passion for me to be a doctor. Or, you feel that doctors do very good in society. Why not to become a doctor? So that is only one part of it that we see, because that is visible. The 90% of it is not visible. So I feel that as far as today's young generation is concerned, which is much more well aware and informed as compared to us, they should have a thorough understanding of it, that what life will be ahead and what commitment will it really drive to. For me, at 34 years of age, having a kid, and I was undergoing exams, I had to rent out a space outside to live for 2-3 months to prepare for my exam. So that was also endurance in a way.
Right.
Yeah. So yes, it is. Otherwise, it's a beautiful profession. It's heart touching. It's very fulfilling. And my message is that please welcome, if you want to be a doctor, please do become a doctor. Do your best. Empathy, and humility is something you'll have to carry and nurture as a quality.
Doctor, एक last question now I'm compelled to ask. अगर आपको ये सब कुछ पहले पता होता तो आप डॉक्टर बनते?
मैंने तो अभी पहले भी बोला इस शो में कि व्हाट डू आई रिग्रेट, तो पापा ने शायद इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेज से नहीं निकाला होता तो अच्छा होता.
Well, that's a beautiful sum up. Thank you so much for spending this time with us. It's been totally an unbounding experience having you completely unfiltered on this show. We definitely and wholeheartedly wish you a lot of success. May your healing hands always hold those who are in need, and may you continue with your endeavors in your chefism. And next we would like to host and also uncover that part of you.
Thank you so much for bringing this part of conversation, which otherwise never happens.
Yeah.
It may keep on going in my head, but to really have it with someone, to really bring it out, and then a lot of other things also come up. Thank you so much. It was wonderful time with you.
Thank you. Let's keep unbounding together.